Some of you guys have informed me that the Shin Sonic tapes have gotten a new edition, so in this video, I want to go ahead and explain what's happening in the new tape, and then how it actually relates to the main lore of the series overall. Now, this tape actually starts out by showing Knuckles going back in time, which is how the last episode ended. Knuckles basically wanted to go back in time so that he could grab the Super Emeralds, and this would allow him to turn into Hyper Knuckles. And if he's able to do this, he'll be able to actually solo Shin Sonic. And I say this because I'm pretty sure that like these hyper forms are even more powerful than the super forms, so it should be like an easy fight if he can accomplish it. Now in the animation, we see that Knuckles arrives at an area called the Hidden Palace Zone, which some of you may know if you actually played the 2013 remastered version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, or aka Sonic Origins. And when we see Knuckles actually land in front of the temple here, we see that he also has a quick flashback to when he was being chained up by Shin Sonic. And I think this may actually show that he's like traumatized by the encounter and that he's like being affected mentally by that experience. And it'll be interesting to see if this is something that will like play a big role moving forward, or if it's just something that he hasn't shaken off yet, because technically, like, even though the series are kind of like spread out, in actuality, not a lot of time has passed for Knuckles since he's been like chained up by Shin. Now, after that, we actually see Knuckles enter the temple, and here's where he meets a older looking echidna that people think is Knuckles' grandfather or something similar to that. But in actuality, I think all the echidnas just look very similar, so it could just be like somebody from the same clan. But one thing that I will say is that when you look at the credits, it does literally say grandpa there, so people could very well be right. Now next we see that the old man is basically questioning Knuckles, seeing why he's here, and when Knuckles tried to explain that he's actually here for the power of the emerald, the old man reacts like this.
Huh? I've been guarding those emeralds for decades. You're crazy if you think I'm just gonna give them to anybody who asks. Especially an echidna I've never seen before. Now get lost. I'd really hate to have to kill one of my own kind.
Now, some of you may be surprised by the fact that the old man actually punched Knuckles in the face, but he did so to protect the emerald, which is kind of like their clan's whole thing. Because for those of you that don't really know the history, the reason that so many of the echidna, or I guess I should say like all of them, are pretty much dead is because they pissed off this godlike creature called Chaos, and it was so powerful that it basically destroyed the clan. Luckily, they were able to contain Chaos inside the Master Emerald, but even with that, like, the decay of their clan still continued, which is why Knuckles is really the only one that's still alive in modern day. So hopefully this kind of helps you guys understand why the old man was so quick to fight Knuckles. Even though he doesn't know what Knuckles is trying to do with the emerald, he knows the power that it has, and he knows that he's been like stationed to protect it, so that's what he does. Now, while I don't think Knuckles really wanted to fight the grandpa, he didn't really have a choice here, because if he doesn't get that power, Shin will release hell on Earth pretty much. And I say that because like we saw this scene in one of the animations. So Knuckles really had no choice but to square up with his grandpa, because if he doesn't, his world is going to be thrown into chaos. Now the episode ends with this scene here. And in this scene, we see that the statue of Moloch actually has 4 of the gems in his chest already, meaning that Knuckles is running out of time to actually stop whatever ritual Shin is planning to do. And as I've stated in my previous video, I think that Shin is like a worshiper of the demon lord Moloch, and he's killing all these people and using them as sacrifices for his god. And once he collects the rest of the gems, no one's going to actually be able to stop him from throwing this world into absolute chaos. But with that being said, make sure to check out this Shin video here if you want to know the rest of the story. Subscribe today to become a member of the Ors Force, and we will make sure to cover these videos as they come out in the future. Peace, peace.